Here to provide a brief update on preparations for the blizzard, which will soon be entering our area. I'm Erie County Executive Mark Polenkars, joined by our Commissioner of Public Works, William Gary, as well as Kendra Schmidt from Deaf Access Services. A lot of preparations have been put in place over the last 24 hours to ensure the safety of our community. Our Department of Public Works plows have been out pre-salting the roads, creating a brine on the roads, and I'll let the Commissioner talk about that in a little bit of time. But just as a reminder, a state of emergency exists throughout all of New York State, as signed off by Governor Hochul, as well as I've signed a state of emergency for Erie County, effective as of 7 o'clock this morning. The City of Buffalo has also instituted a state of emergency. Travel advisory is in effect for all of Erie County at this point, though there are, and the DOT, New York State DOT, has closed through a soft closure. The gates are not down, but they are closed to most traffic, some major roads. Of course, the DOT has closed Route 219, the 400, the 290, Route 5, Route 190. The thruway is closed to truck traffic, commercial vehicle ban from the Pennsylvania line to exit 46, which is Henrietta, the 390 in the Rochester area. We do not have a travel driving ban in effect yet for all of Erie County. We may have to implement that later. We certainly didn't want to put a driving ban in effect for all of the roads while it was still passable and there were still not issues. We, of course, have not had the front come through. The temperature is starting to drop a little bit. It was about 40 degrees half hour ago, and now it seems to, according to the most recent one, it dropped down to about 36 degrees. So the temperature is starting to drop. We do expect that it will get to that flash freeze in the next hour or so. So we'll go from where it's raining to starting to have ice and then snow, and have a flash freeze with everything that has been basically inundated with water over the last 24 hours due to the rain. So we're entering a critical period in which we are going to see the changeover. The winds are not at the highest amount yet. We have had some significant wind gusts and some minor tree damage down, but nothing that like we're expecting later today when we have the exceptional gusts that approach 70 miles per hour. So with that, I'll turn it over to our Commissioner of Public Works, William Gary, to kind of give an update on what they're seeing.
Good morning. The Public Works teams have been in. We started shift change at about 4 a.m. this morning. We're in a 12-hour shift posture right now that'll roll us in 24-hour operations through the duration of the storm, and that is all the way through Monday and even into next week if needed. We are fully staffed. Our men and women that work in Public Works really answered the call on this, knowing that it is a holiday weekend, one of those coveted holidays too. But as public servants, this is our job, and this is what we need to do to make sure the roads are safe and clear for all law enforcement, emergency responders, as well as anybody with emergency travel. One thing to note, like the county executive said, we are starting to see the temperatures drop. We have about 35 plow trucks that have been out on the roads putting that salt down. We've increased application rates to make the brine a little heavier than normal for the flash freeze that's coming. But we're already seeing in some parts of the southern half of the county, the rain has already changed over to a heavy wet snow, and we're anticipating a couple inches on the ground by noon today. So again, if you're just getting up and you look out, don't think it looks too bad or you're not hearing the wind howling. In probably the next hour, that is going to be a significant change, and the best thing you can do is stay off the roads, stay inside, give our crews time. I will set the expectation that there is going to come a point in time today. It's not maybe, but it's just when. We're probably going to have to pull trucks off the road, and we may have to pull them off for a significant amount of time. And that's not just us. I've talked with New York State DOT as well. We don't want any of our drivers put in harm's way if they can't see, and we expect visibility with these winds and blizzard conditions. You know, blizzard's 3 hours plus. We're looking at a 30-hour period with winds above blizzard conditions, so it could be some time. The worst part with the winds is obviously going to be the down power lines. Crews trying to get out to react to that, to energize or fix those lines, are probably not going to be able to till we get below 40 miles per hour on the winds, which may not be till Sunday morning. So this is going to be a long event. Hopefully everybody's stocked up during the week. Traffic does look light out there this morning, been out and about. So we'll do our best to give everybody updates, watch social media, and let us know also what you're seeing, and we'll take that information in. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. I have an update. The wind has really started to pick up in Cheektowaga, and it started to snow. So the temperature has dropped even more than what we just saw a few minutes ago. It's arrived. You can look outside our windows here at the Emergency Operations Center in Cheektowaga and realize that the changeover to the snow has occurred. The heavy winds have already started. You can see the trees and the light posts being rattled. So be careful out there. We are recommending no unnecessary travel. If we do need to implement a driving ban, we will. We certainly wanted to give individuals who may have been working the overnight shifts an opportunity to drive home. We know that there are some employers that don't ever shut down unless a driving ban is in place. Well, we have to do what's appropriate for the entire community. If it deteriorates further to the point where traffic is dangerous, we will then, of course, issue a driving ban. But for now, there's a no unnecessary travel advisory in effect for all of Erie County. I just wanted to note, as most people know, we name our winter storms here in the Department of Public Works after local microbrews, and we happen to be up into the W's, which is perfect because the winter storm, as named by the Department of Public Works, is Winter Storm Whiteout IPA from Flying Bison in Buffalo. So it just happened to work that it was perfect that we were in the right place to be in the W's, because I think we're going to get a lot of whiteouts as the blizzard takes hold. With that, if there's any questions, I'll open it up.
Yeah, just one, just for clarification. For the 90, for the thruway, right, that's only for truck traffic at the moment, or is that for all traffic?
Understanding, the question was with regards to the travel ban on the thruway, is it for truck traffic or all traffic? My understanding, it is only for truck traffic, commercial vehicle. The thruway is still open for regular vehicles. However, there is a soft closure in effect for 219, 400, Route 5, 190, 290. I came in on the 190 this morning. It was very light, but there was some traffic. I didn't see any trucks, which is good. But we're hopeful the trucks just stay away. The goal was to divert the trucks from the Pennsylvania line down Interstate 86 in Pennsylvania, so they would not try to go around the thruway ban and come up into our region. With Route 5 and Route 20 being closed, it's going to be almost impossible for them to do that. I'm fearful that they'll go into local roads. We've seen that before. I'm hopeful that they just divert down Interstate 86 and just go through the Southern Tier Expressway.
In terms of flooding concerns, right, with Hoover Beach and Route 5 and everything like that, what's the general response in terms of attentiveness to certain areas first?
The question was in regards to flooding concerns. Hoover Beach, areas of Route 5. We have flooding concerns because of this wind and the sage that will be created in Evans, in Hamburg, actually some parts of Buffalo, especially downtown area by the Buffalo River, Grand Island, Tonawanda, Niagara Falls. There wasn't a mandatory evacuation of the residents of Hoover Beach as of last night. That is the area that is expected to get the worst brunt of it. I saw that the prediction was that it'll be 4 feet above flood stage in the Buffalo downtown area. That's a significant amount of water that'll be coming into areas. Those that live on the waterfront may actually see water coming into their homes that have never seen it before. So we are concerned. We will send emergency personnel to remove individuals if they happen to be in a danger, if we can get them out there. We do not send emergency personnel if it's too dangerous for the emergency personnel to go out. But if we can, local law enforcement, local fire will send emergency personnel out. But we were warning everyone that if you're in a low-lying area, a flood-prone area, you should probably get out beforehand. Now's the time to do it, before you don't have much more options when the heavy snow comes, the blinding conditions, and making it almost impossible for our law enforcement and fire to respond.
Is there any certain way that you've prepped the areas for impact?
The question was, is there any certain way we've prepped the areas? There's really not so much prep. It's just removing individuals from Hoover Beach that are at the highest risk. There's really no way we can prep it. Work was done, of course, in the past in certain areas to create break wall protection, but there's nothing really that could be done in this late time. Okay. Oh, yes. One final thing. We have activated our special phone number, 716-858-SNOW, S-N-O-W, that can be called for non-life-threatening but serious concerns such as dialysis patients, such as those that were supposed to receive cancer treatment, You can call 858-SNOW, and we will then we'll take the information and get back to you. So if somebody has a life-threatening issue, you call 911. Always call 911 first. But if it's non-life-threatening but is of a serious concern, such as you've run out of your medications and you need your medications for life preservation, you need dialysis and you can't get to the dialysis center, you can call 716-858-SNOW, and we will come out eventually to try to help you in this situation. This is for serious but not life immediate threatening situations. If it's an immediate life threatening situation, call 911.
I just got one more. In terms of power outages, I know that's a big one too. Is there a certain point where you would say, okay, it's time to open up warming centers, or is that just kind of, par for the course, like you just kind of have to wait and see?
The question was with regards to power outages, will we open up warming centers? I know the city of Buffalo has opened up 2 warming centers that'll be open during the day. I believe it's Lincoln Community Center as well as the Hennepin Community Center. At this point, we've discussed with local municipalities the possibility of opening up Red Cross staffed emergency centers. Warming centers are great, but unless they actually have the supplies necessary to take care of individuals for an extended period, and you got to close at 5, but if people can't go home because the power outages are issues, you have to keep them up 24 hours. So those discussions have been going on in the last 24 hours with a lot of the local municipalities, and as needed, once they're open, we would announce them. We don't want to announce anything before it's open because we don't want people to think, oh, I better go there now. First off, I don't think a whole lot of people would do that, but we don't want to say that things are open when they're not just yet. So if necessary, we've discussed with the local municipalities about setting up various warming centers and emergency shelters. There are emergency shelters that are available as part of our overnight minus or less than 32 degrees temperature under our Code Blue system. There's 2 emergency shelters that are in the city of Buffalo, and there's one in the rural areas. The rural area is handled by the Rural Outreach Center. So anytime it's below 32 degrees, it is always open in the overnight hours. And I expect that to be open over the next 3 or 4 days just because of the temperature change. We will recommend that if people do need emergency shelter, that they check first off Code Blue to see what shelter is available for 24-hour purposes. And if you have any specific questions, you can call us at 716-858-SNOW. Okay. Thanks, everyone. We'll have a briefing later this afternoon. Thank you. Thank you, Kendra. And William.